The truth is that if you're heart stuck, it's because of one main thing: your mentality. Either you have the wrong mindset and don't improve on your mistakes, or you tilt too easily and let it mess with your performance. The brutal truth is that you aren't heart stuck because of your teammates or bad luck, but because of you. It may be hard to swallow, but if you truly want to get out of the rank you've been stuck in, you have to convince yourself that you need to get better. That if you get good enough, you can overcome luck. Do you really think that all these pros that climbed from gold to radiant didn't get bad teammates?
Behind you, motherfucker!
Do you really think Curry, who solo queued to radiant on every role, never got unlucky with terrible teammates? Don't continue watching this video unless you actually take ownership of your improvement, because if you want to continue blaming luck, then this isn't the video for you. But if you're ready to point the finger at yourself and realize that you need to and can improve, then I'm glad to tell you that you're already ahead of 90% of people. Now that you've given up the BS excuses, I want to give you the 3 key principles that, if applied, guarantee that you rank up. Number 1, make improvement fun and you win. The problem is that people focus on the output rather than on the input. Everyone is focused on whether they won the game, whether they ranked up, rather on how they can improve. This is the mindset that keeps you heart stuck. Your rank is the product of consistent improvement habits, not a one-time event. Forget your teammates for a moment and ask yourself, how much did I improve in the last week? If you can't instantly say, my aim got better, my game sense got better, my comms are clear, etc., then it's clear why you're not ranking up. Once you fall in love with the process of getting better, losses won't weigh you down, you'll enjoy playing more, you'll have more motivation, and eventually you'll actually reach the rank you want. The good news is that you can make aim training, VOD reviewing, learning from pros, and everything else fun. Because honestly, getting better is fun in and of itself. Once your aim gets better, you will win more gunfights and have more fun. Once you learn some crazy setup, you'll outplay the enemies and want to learn more. The more you link your fun in game to you improving, the more fun the improving itself will actually be. And one of the most fun ways to improve is by using Coach Camel. Coach Camel is a brand new AI coach that I have been developing for about a year. Now you can simply push a button to ask any question you want and receive instant advice. Struggling to push B site? Coach Camel will provide pro strategies for how to execute. Have to fill Killjoy and don't know any setups? Coach Camel got you with the latest tricks. Losing and want to counter-strat the opponents? Simply ask how to counter the enemy agents. No need to provide Coach Camel info on what agent you're playing, what map you're on, what the scoreline is, or anything else, because it already knows. And since Coach Camel is powered by our very own Valorant language model, it's going to stay up to date with all the latest pro strategies. One of my favorite features is the post-match reflection, where you can tell Coach Camel anything new you've learned or any mistakes you want to be aware of in future games. Coach Camel will then automatically sort that information into organized bullet points, which you can look back at any time. Additionally, all users will have access to the Coach Camel Discord, where I'll host weekly 10-mans. Create a team with your friends to compete for cash prizes while learning among other motivated players. And to celebrate the launch of Coach Camel, I'll be giving away $500 worth of Valorant points to you guys. To enter the giveaway, simply follow Coach Camel on Twitter, retweet the post, and tag 2 friends. To get a bonus entry, follow the Coach Camel account on TikTok. The 50 winners will be announced on Twitter within the next 2 weeks. If you download Coach Camel now, you'll also receive access to 10 high-quality in-depth guides for absolutely free. So if you want to give Coach Camel a try, click the first link in the description or pin in the comments. So now that your improvement addiction is satisfied, let's jump right into the second key principle of ranking up, and that's identifying your weaknesses. You need to understand that your rank is determined not based off your greatest strength, but by your biggest weakness. Think of your skills as a pipe with flowing water leading you to ranking up. If one part of the pipe/skill is very weak, it will hold back the rest of the water flow, even if the other skills are amazing. However, once you improve and increase that small pipe, a lot more water can flow, leading you to ranking up. It's crucial to understand that you can be extremely good at one aspect, but for you to overall improve and rank up, you need to put all of your attention on fixing your biggest weaknesses. So how do I know my weaknesses? There are 4 main ways. looking at your common complaints, analyzing deaths that lost your team the advantage, VOD reviewing, and checking stats. Let's start with complaints. While playing, notice what you're complaining about most often, because tilting is likely the result of you getting punished for the same mistake over and over again. I used to tilt about constantly having to play retake on defense, feeling disadvantaged and like the rounds were out of my hands, draining the fun. I blamed bad luck until I owned up that it was my fault for not being active enough pre-round to read the enemy's likely execute. The truth is, we all have these complaints reflecting weaknesses in our playstyle. The second way to identify weaknesses is by analyzing deaths that lost your team the advantage. Actively notice which deaths are giving away your team's advantage such that the round changes from winning to losing. Examples include dying first, failing to trade your teammates, dying with bomb or important abilities, and etc. Sure, there's hundreds of tiny mistakes that you can pick up on, but noticing the most important mistakes, the ones that lose your team the advantage, is actually what's going to change your win rate. Ask yourself, which play caused our team to lose the advantage? The third way is through VOD reviews, either recording a game and analyzing it yourself, or asking a better player to watch it for you. Most of the time when you're playing, you will overlook all of the times you could have played differently, but with a third-person perspective, you can slowly analyze how you played. Additionally, better players will likely pick up on the mistakes in both decision-making and in your aim that you wouldn't have noticed otherwise. A bonus way of identifying your weaknesses is by looking at your stats. You can simply go over to Valorant Tracker and check out your account. Here, you can find so much useful info: your kill, assist, survive, trade ratio, your map and agent run rate, and much more. If your kill, assist, survive, trade ratio is low, that means you need to play with your team and trade your teammates more often. If you have a bad win rate on a specific map or agent, maybe it's time to learn a new strategy or even a new agent on the map. If you have a 60% win rate on Ascent, but a 40% win rate on Lotus, then you probably need to focus your effort into improving on Lotus. Remember that if you don't change, your win rate won't change. By accepting your weaknesses, you shift your mindset, which gives you room to grow. So now that you know your mistakes, how do you get better? Change complaints into how questions. I whiffed an easy shot into how can I be more calm in gunfights? My team sucks at holding B site into how can we change our setup? I keep getting one tapped into how can I improve my movement to be harder to hit? Pay attention, since this is where most of you mess up. Very often when players make a mistake and go to analyze why, they simply make an excuse and pass it off.
I'm definitely behind the wall there.
Rather than saying, oh, I was expecting my teammates to swing with me, you can decide to directly communicate with your teammates without assuming by saying, let's swing this guy, or even counting down, let's double peek in 3, 2, 1. Again, you want to avoid sliding off these mistakes as, oh, I got unlucky, and genuinely think, how can you improve in that situation? It's easier to complain than to find solutions to problems, which is why most people don't get better. But none of this will work if you only have this mindset for a day or two. And that brings me to the third point, which is build the foundation. The one important thing that people just don't understand is that you can't skip steps. If you want to reach the highest rank possible, then you have to put in the work to build up your aim, movement, game sense, positioning, etc., all from the ground up. What most people do is they aim train and begin to win more duels, which causes them to rank up. They notice that aim training got them from silver to plat, so they think they need more of it to keep ranking up. They think that if they crank the knob on aim training enough, that's what's going to get them to immortal. However, what they really need to do is develop their game sense, teamwork, communications, and all of the other skills alongside their aim. By being in a rush, you build up your entire skill set foundation wrong, where a lot of important pieces are lacking, causing you to be stuck. You can picture your skill set as a tower. By trying to skip steps and just max out your aim, you will have a flimsy tower and no foundation of the remaining skills. The higher you go without building the rest of the foundation, the more unstable the entire tower will be. However, if you take one step back and rebuild your entire foundation, you can build way higher than before because now it is stable. If you're currently silver and want to reach immortal, then you solely should focus on the fundamental skills that will get you out of silver. This is because the skills needed to go from silver to gold aren't the same as the skills needed to go from ascendant to immortal. In order to rank up from silver to gold, you might need to fully learn fundamental mechanics, such as crosshair placement or positioning. However, in order to rank up from Ascendant to Immortal, you instead need to focus on advanced mechanics such as site executes and agent synergy. The point is, you need to stop trying to speedrun to a high rank. You have to master all the skills of each stage before you go on to the next. I know this isn't that fun to hear, but the truth is, you have to accept a long period of sucking before you notice any real improvement. High-ranked players and top-tier professionals have all put in thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours into improving at FPS games. They have put in the work that you haven't, so expecting to reach close to the level of skill in only a fraction of the time doesn't make any sense. So if you feel stuck and like you can't make progress, you need to go back to the beginning and realize you built your skill set tower wrong to begin with. However, the good news is that anyone, including you, can improve. Even if you don't think you're naturally talented, with just some motivation and a strong work ethic, you can improve tremendously at Valorant. And luckily, the odds are in your favor because the truth is that most people are just lazy. They would rather complain about their teammates than focus on their mistakes and put in the work in order to improve. So if you just put in a little bit of work, I promise that you'll start seeing improvement. So to recap, number 1, make improvement fun and you win. Fix the inputs and the results fix themselves. Number 2, identify your weaknesses by looking at your frequent complaints, analyzing round losing deaths, VOD reviewing, and checking map win rate stats. Number 3, put in the work to build the foundation. Everyone tries to rank up as fast as possible and doesn't get anywhere. Don't be like everyone else. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.